Hello, everybody. NC4 XL, North Carolina for Extreme Lovers. And you might hear that call every once in a while. I want to try to answer some of your questions because the title has hopefully grabbed your attention. What is this POTA stuff all about? Everywhere I go on the bands, all I hear is people in POTA and, well, what I want to introduce to you is something a little different. It's called explanation with a little history. Amateur radio over the years has changed from getting your license with CW, Morse code, and change a class of licenses from novice, technician, general, advanced, extra. Now the novice is gone. The technician is there. The general is there. The advanced is gone. And in my years, personally, amateur radio peaked out because it was new to me. And then it got to be old by clicks and things of that nature. And it wasn't fun anymore. 2017, Jason and a group of his friends participated the previous year with ARRL's National Parks activity. And they created Parks on the Air, as we call it, POTA. And yes, you hear a lot of folks enjoying amateur radio again. There are many old timers, such as myself, I've been licensed since '78, that are having fun chasing the different folks that are activators that go out into the field to assigned parks that are assigned a POTA park number. Not all parks qualify. Good gosh, it would be unreal if every park qualified. So there is criteria that has to be met before a park is assigned a POTA number. The folks that you're hearing out there are not sitting at home being bored to death in amateur radio and calling CQ, CQ, CQ and getting frustrated. No, we have advanced over the years to having a spotting page. Everything's free, folks. No monies are required at all. Everything that you see and hear about POTA, Parks on the Air, is volunteered. I started listening in November of 2020 when somebody mentioned, you ought to check out this POTA stuff. And so I started looking and listening. What's he talking about? And I went to the storage unit and pulled my equipment out of storage. It had been there for 10 years in the storage unit. Plugged it in and prayed it worked, and it did. But I started listening to people all over the place. An activity, and they weren't calling CQ, 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 and waiting. And you could hear it in their voice that they were having fun. The more I listened, the more intrigued I got. Even got crazy enough and decided, well, I think I want to go out and do that. So I started doing some research of the different parks that are close into where I live at that I could drive to and that were POTA park numbers. What I didn't realize was the friends and acquaintances that are going to grow from a lot of folks wanting to do the same thing I do. Check their equipment out. When I go out, I'm practicing all the time for emergency communications. I literally am. If I'm needed, I can set my system up in 15 minutes. I have the batteries. I carry more than one. I carry two because I don't want to run out of power if an emergency situation come up. The antennas, I carry more than one because I may not be able to throw an antenna up over the tree branch, but I can put a Wolf River coil up, or I could put a vertical antenna up on a tripod. A lot of different things that I can do to assist, and I hate to say it, sometimes catastrophic situations where the only communication going on is because a ham radio operator is operating by powered battery system because the electricity's gone. Medical attention, help, and aid have been reached, so to speak, through amateur radio operators. Yes, ham radio is fun, it's enjoyable, but also knowing what we're capable of doing in times of emergency to help one another. I can't say it's good for everybody, but everybody's good for it if you want to try it, and I enjoy it. And I have met some of the finest folks at different outings, at different ham fests. We get called all sorts of names because people believe that the net owns the frequency and they're going to be on it regardless of how rude they want to be. And all of us share the frequencies, none of us own it. Now, if there's times of emergency, the message goes out to what frequencies to stay away from because it's being used for emergency traffic. But if we as activators go out, we're listening. Most of us, not all of us, most of us are going to ask, is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? And one of the things that we don't want to do is be like a lid or a sad ham who goes about and key up on somebody who's already in a QSO. It's respect. It's good code of conduct as a ham operator. Contest time, it's a nightmare. I don't care who you are, on what band you're on, they're going to be busy. Some people, that's the only time they get on HF is during contests. Where POTA people, Parks on the Air people, I like to say we have a field day every day because you'll always find somebody out there. If you register for POTA, for Parks on the Air, it costs you nothing. I tell you that because I want you to realize something. When you achieve an award or achievement, as I call them, you can go to the POTA page, go to the awards tab, go to the achievement that you've just earned, click on the PDF file, and download it. Print it out. I quit printing after 700 awards. I'm not saying that to be boastful. I've been doing this for 5 years. I set a lot of goals. I've grown a lot. And one of the things will happen as a new hunter, that's you being at home, chasing all the activators, you will grow. You will learn operating techniques. You will learn propagation. You may build antennas on your own. You may try QRP or FT8 or FT4 or PSK31, or you may go satellite, all while enjoying the HF bands with Parks on the Air or POTA. I hope and pray that I have not offended anybody by using the words sad hams or lids. But those people that think that Parks on the Air people are bad people, really, I think they have a preconceived idea because they're not getting their way. It's a shared amateur radio band. And because of propagation dictates the time of day on what bands are going to be more active or less active. So, if you get an opportunity and you're interested, register, then please, please take the time to start doing just a little bit of reading of the frequently asked questions section. If you're in an area where you know of folks that are doing Parks on the Air, pick their brain. Ask to go out with them and watch. See how they do it. Get ready to participate. If you're in my area and you're willing to put up with this old man, come and let's have some fun. But you'll find I'm not a lunch person. I'm out on the road early because of the time it takes for me to get to the parks that are close enough for me to go out and have fun and work the propagation window I have. But wherever you live watching this video, take the time to reach out to those that may be in your area, maybe a club activity that's doing a POTA event, or maybe a POTA get-together where you can go meet other folks that their hobby in amateur radio also involves Parks on the Air. Now, just in case any of you guys or gals have ever said, well, that POTA stuff's blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you've tried it or not, but it really isn't that bad. Matter of fact, I'm very proud of it. And many of the amateur radio fields of community, we will call it, retail, have grown because of what Parks on the Air has done. As of this video, we're at close to 95,000 members. We didn't get there being ugly people. The friendship and camaraderie that you'll meet mostly is phenomenal. We'll hit 100,000 members not long from now. As an activator, there's right at 28,000 activators out there. And I'm glad I'm one of them. I hope and pray and I reach out to you that if you're wondering what this is all about, you will have an open mind, go listen, see how it functions, instead of being out there knocking something you haven't tried. But there's a wonderful group in the world of amateur radio just waiting to make a contact with you. Again, take the time, read the frequently asked questions section, take the time, reach out to somebody local in your area, pick their brain. I don't believe that you'll be let down. But I can't make you do anything. I can only share the good that I see and many of us other ham operators see. On one last note, I've been licensed since 1978, and over the last 5 years, I've talked to several old T's, old timers that came back to amateur radio because somebody said, you ought to look into this POTA stuff. And they have found a great enjoyment again in amateur radio. November Charlie for X-Ray Lima, North Carolina for Extreme Lovers I'm Not. Just Dom, the darling old man. Oh, by the way, I have a club call. You might hear it every once in a while. November Charlie 4. Papa Oscar. POTA on. May God bless. 73s.